So today I'm going to be milling up a piece of this hornbeam log, and the first bit of advice that I can give to anybody trying to do this on their bandsaw is work with pieces that are small enough that you can handle. It helps to have pieces that are as straight as possible, but mostly if you can handle the piece pretty easily, it makes the whole process a lot easier. I'm just using a piece of MDF here, and I am just going to screw through the MDF into the log to get the first cut done. And I'm going to just put a piece of wood in here to kind of make that edge that's contacting the blade as straight as possible. This does not have to be perfect, so just get it as close as you can. If your bandsaw has a fence that's higher, make sure it's at its highest setting. You're going to need as much support as you can get. And I'm going to raise my blade guard here a little higher than necessary just so you can see what's going on. Now, like I said, this first cut doesn't have to be perfect. We're just looking for a semi-flat side on one piece of the log, so just take your time and do your best. I'm going to unscrew it from the log, and then I'm going to take it over to the joiner. That is something that you do not have to do, but if your log fits on your joiner, it does make a nice, totally flat surface on one side, and I just think that helps later on. I'm going to hook up the jig again here and run it through for its second side. And this side also is not that important, just try and get it semi-flat, and you don't need to take off a huge chunk either. My piece is really small. And then I also run it through the joiner on that side. So once I've run it through the joiner a few times and those edges are nice and flat and square, then you can kind of decide how thick you want your pieces to be, and my recommendation there is to make them quite a bit thicker than what you think you might need or want. It's just a good idea. You can always resaw later, and if they're really twisted, there's a little room there. I think these are 2 1/8. So go nice and slow with these passes. You'll find that it is much easier to push them through now that we have 2 square edges, and it's much easier to be precise. So I've had really good luck using this method. And for this second one, I'm cutting far less wood, so it goes quite a bit faster, but go nice and smooth and slow and steady. And we should have 2 nicely book-matched pieces here, which we do have. It's pretty labor intensive to use a bandsaw to mill your own small pieces of wood just because you don't get all that much, but it's super cool that you can use local pieces that you find, and I think it's also really cool that you can use species that not everybody else is using. When I go to dry my pieces, I just lay them down, put a couple of pieces of wood the same thickness on top, and then I just stack my pieces up without a weight or anything. I've just come to expect that these boards will need some flattening when I'm ready to actually use them, so it's not a big deal if they bend a little. I hope you enjoyed the video. That's how I mill a small log on the bandsaw.